Alright, here's 4P number 7, which you didn't really start. And I don't blame you. It's kind of fuzzy with the camera. It's a long one. And I don't know if I needed all 20 lines to do this, but it took me 20 lines to do. Let's try it. Whoop. Okay. One. If A, then not B. 2. C or D, then A and B. 3. Or I don't even know if I copied that down right. Hold on, let me look in here. I want to be tip-top shape here. Okay, I did write that down right. Not C or F, then E, then G, therefore not G, then not E. Well, at least it's pretty straightforward. If we assume not G, we just have to get to not E, right? Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, the first thing I did was with that very rarely used rule with line 3, that EXP rule. If you look right here, alright, EXP. Let's go back to, oh, the camera's going crazy. No, I can't even use EXP there, can I? Did I break a rule? Let me go back and look at this, because I don't even know if I can do 7, to be honest with you. Yeah. Where'd it go? We got or, and it's got to be an and statement. That's a then. Ooh. Yeah, it is really tricky. Okay. This is why it's so tricky. So, with the EXP, let me try stabilizing this. See if it'll focus. There we go. If you have a then, if-then statement there, and then an if-then statement there, so 2 if-then statements, you can convert one of them into an and statement. So, let's go to line 3. We have 1 and 2 if-then statements, one of them being in the parentheses, just like we need it to be. So, we're not looking at this or. This isn't what's going to turn into an and statement. This is what's going to turn into an and statement. It's messy. So let's put this in the brackets. And E. Put that into brackets. Then G. Now if you can do that right there, because we're taking this and that with EXP, it's hard to see because you're considering this whole thing. Now go look at the rule book, the rules on page 93, where it's I'll even write it out right here, because this is the key. This is the key. P and Q, then R is equivalent to if P, then Q, then R, right? So in this case, P is equal to not C or F. That's what we're doing. And then the Q is equal to the E, and the R is equal to the G. That's what we're doing here. Now once we have that, now we can begin to move on a little bit. Let me open that. Whoa, no! Drop the cameras. Okay. Alright, now that we have this done, that's kind of like the hard first step. Because now we know we have a not G here, we have this G here, so now we can assume this whole thing is not. So 6, not C or F. Be careful with your brackets and your parentheses. Okay. Now that's by 5 and 4. Mollis Tollens there. Alright. Now 7. Now we're going to distribute. We want to clean this up now, because remember, we're trying to get to this E and not E. So if we distribute that negative there, we get negative not C or F. Remember those parentheses, or not E right there, and that's by line 6, De Morgan's. Alright. Now if we De Morgan's again, just this part, just the De Morgan's that, we're going to get not C and not F. That's all going to be in parentheses, or not E. So that's line 7, De Morgan's. Let's go ahead and double negate that, clean it up. C and not F, still in parentheses, or E. That's 8, double negation. Alright. Now, this is where I got a little lost. So what I did is I went ahead and used that commutative rule to make a not E or C and not F over here. A line commutative. Alright. And then I basically switched gears and I looked at line 1 and I implemented it. So I drew a little like hash, just as a reminder to myself. So this is, I didn't know where to go from here. Like how do I get a not this? Because if I could use disjunctive syllogism, I could, on this, I could get not E by itself and I'd be done. But how the hell do I do that? So going to 11 here, I went ahead and did a impl on that, making it from an if A, then not B, to a not A or not B. 1 impl. Then I De Morgan's it, which is like a reverse De Morgan's, if you will, to a not A and B. Okay? And that's lines 11. De Morgan's. Okay? Now, what's this up here? We got that. And we have that. So we know lines 13, it's going to not be C or D by lines 2 and 12 by Mollis Tollens. Alright? Now we can De Morgan's that to not C and not D. Now again, while I was doing this proof, I didn't really know where I was going. I was just trying to do something. And I eventually got somewhere, which was pretty cool. Alright, so now I'm at not C and not D. That was what, lines 13 De Morgan's. Now I want to simplify that down to just not C. Alright, now that the not C is alone, we can go back to our old friend, addition, and just add on or F, right? Oh, hold on, what we do for 15? That was 14 simp, and then get to 16, that was 15 addition. I'm gonna need more paper here. Okay, I'm running out of room here. That's alright, I'm gonna make more room. Come on, camera, don't fall on me. Okay, so now we have the not C and F. We're making progress, right? Maybe, I don't know yet. So, now let's go back to lines 10. Let's refresh our memory. Line 10 was that not E or C and not F. Now for line 17, now we had all that stuff in the middle, right? Now for line 17, we're going to keep the not E the same. But now what we're going to do is we're going to double negate the C. Just the C. Let's go ahead and double negate that C. Keep the not F the same. And that was a double negation to lines 10. Now, why did I want to do that? Because now look here. We have this not C or F. And we have this here. We double negated it. So now let's De Morgan's just this. Because remember the difference between the original rules we learned of inference and the last rules we learned of equivalence. The rules of equivalence we can do to just parts of lines. So we can do De Morgan's to just this little part. So now line 18 reads as not E or not, we pulled that out, not C or F. 17 De Morgan's. So we have this, right? And we have this, right? So this is why all those negations and the double negation shortcuts are cool and a time saver sometimes, but they're kind of cool sometimes because then you can take line 16. So for line 19, we're going to double negate that whole thing. Like that. So that's line 16 double negated. So now we know it's not this. Therefore, 20 is E by lines 18 and 19, disjunctive syllogism. So, if we go all the way back up here, we can do that little arrow thing and draw it all the way down. All the way down here, come across 21, not G, then not what? E? Is that what we're doing? E by lines 4 through 20, conditional proof. I guarantee you there is an easier way and shorter way to do this. But that's how I solved it. Ask Josh. I guarantee you did it in like 6 steps.